In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to take your sketches and quickly turn them into vectors for a more precise sort of logo. So here I have a bunch of sketches, and for this Mrs. Milk logo, I'm going to use this cow one, of course. That's the best one. So the first thing I want to do is crop the image so that I only have the one image doing that. I do that by left clicking, right clicking on the image itself and selecting crop, just in case you missed that real quick. I isolate the image that I want and hit enter. Don't worry about this other stuff here. And I'm going to expand my image and make this a little bigger. So it's easier to work with, easier to see. Okay, so once I get my image here, and you can see in layers, there's my image. I can turn that on and off. And right now it's just a picture in here. I can't do anything. There's no outlines. If I were to, I can't manipulate it at all. So the idea is to change this into vectors so that we can color and use all the tools associated with vectoring. All right. So let's see. First we go object, and I'm going to use. Oops, I got to select it first. I'm going to go. Then I go to object, and then I'm going to go image trace. And there's make and expand, which will. It's a one step sort of thing, but I don't have this dialed in yet, so I'm not sure how it will look. So I'm just going to hit make, and then it'll give me, it'll allow me to access the option box for the line tracing tool. So I'm going to make, and as you can see, it did make a whole bunch of vectors. It tried to make fills, and it did really kind of not great job. So I'm going to go to the properties, and to the image trace section, I'm going to click the option box, and all this looks good. There are various things if you're doing color, if you've colored photos or grayscales or black and white, like we're doing black and white, you can change this there. You can also change from here. I'm going to up my threshold, and you'll notice as I up my threshold, if you have to have preview hit, I'm going to up my threshold, and as I do, it sort of fills in the boxes a little bit better. So you have to kind of find your sweet spot somewhere between, oops, there's a whole bunch of holes, and oh no, you're vectoring too much, it's too heavy. So I'm going to back it out. Somewhere in there. And once I'm happy with the result of it, I can close that down. And then in order to initiate the final change, you have to hit the expand button. And now our image is vectored. But it doesn't just vector the black parts, it also vectors the white parts. So here, if I create a new fill behind it, and because I did black and white, now all my stuff is in black and white. In order to get my color palette back, I have to come up here and go RGB. And there's all our colors, and I can choose a pink color, and do that. I can send that to the back, and I'm going to come up here to the layers, and I'm going to lock this. Otherwise, I'll forever be selecting the stupid pink part. Okay. So the first thing you'll notice, if I were to open this bit here, these are all the vector shapes that it created. So for instance, this black piece, if I remove it, you can see that the white piece, it's cut. It didn't just remove it from the, the white part it removed, it's all like a giant puzzle piece. So I don't really want the white part. So I'm going to hit delete. And I don't really want the inside of the cow's nose colors. I kind of want that. I do like the eyes in white. And they are their own vector shape. So I can look over here. There's one of them. And I can turn that on and off. So all this stuff here now, if the letters, the cow's nose, where's the cow's nose? There. The cow's nose, like all this stuff is separate vectors, and I can treat it. Now I can manipulate it and dial in my object. So if I go back here to properties and say I wanted my cow to all these shapes, by the way, need to have RGB turned on. It's a super pain in the butt, but I can go. I want a red bow. I can choose nothing's going to look good with this pink. So okay. And so I get his hair and then we're done. RGB. Make his hair some red color or something. Okay. So you'll also notice that I can select any of the stuff here and put a stroke around it. So, and change that color, whatever. I selected the whole thing there and put everything at once. Or I can change the stroke individually. You have total vector manipulation power here. The last little bit I want to show you is, oops, killed the bow. Hold on. Okay. If I get rid of all the letters, where you up there. I'm just hiding them for right now. Then, of course, I can come in here. Go MRS. Go in here and find a font that's a little better. If you remember, if you click on fonts, you can do a filter for fonts. So I can say, I want decorative, and I want it to be heavy set. And so these are the ones they gave me. That one, that one. I don't have very good fonts. Let's try that again. Oh, there's one, Creaky Frank. Creaky Frank. So this is a kind of a fun font. I'm just going to copy it. And you can see even it's now, it gives me the crop marks, even when it's rotated sideways. MIL. Okay. And then, don't create another type. Create two. Select milk and Mrs. And then I can come in here, change, come over here. It's easier to do it over here. Go to fail because it gives you this automatically. And I lost them. You, and you. Properties, that. It's kind of hard grabbing sideways like this for this. Yeah. And select both of those, and I can do a stroke around it. Oh, that's horrible, but you get the idea. Maybe it'd look better with a gradient, but I don't think it would. Oh, I've locked it. Let's get off of that bank. There we go. That's not any better. But you have, now that these are vectors, is my big point, you can do anything you want to with them. So it's just a very easy way to go from your initial sketch to a totally manipulable vector image. So let me open up my original. There's the original. Come on, there it is. Stupid Illustrator's hard to use. Like the easiest thing in the world. It's really difficult to do. All right, there you go. There's the original drawing, and here is a very clean vectored version of it. I don't know that I'd go colors and pink outlines and stuff like that, but if that's what you want your logo to look like, now you have the power to create green and blue cows.